Hello, this is Max Drake. I just want to talk about some detailed notes that I'm developing for this, but I need some feedback from people on what they might think would be useful. So the first one I'm going to do is an architectural note through here. So the idea is that we can actually show the note, and then it can kind of say the XXX is where you actually fill in some information. So if some of these are preset through here, you may suddenly thinking, no, that's not the way to do it. And maybe it'd be better to do a pull down. So I've got these ones are fixed pull down ones already, but we could actually add these. I can demonstrate that in the following table. So on here we can actually just say half-inch plasterboard. And this is a little challenge that I'm having, and it's kind of paint finish, and framing size is 4x2, and the insulation thickness I'm just going to go 1.8 or whatever. We're not going to have a rigid air barrier or a ventilated cavity, and we've got this one here, so we're going to choose that one there. Because this is highlighted down here, I can actually just press enter, and then I will click on a point, and it'll drop the note through here. Now, so let's just go through and look at a couple of things on here. So if we just go into the settings at this point in time, and we actually just go and edit the settings there, the first thing is you'll see, I've got that, it hasn't come through. I can actually set some of my units for inches. I've just got here, or millimeters, so you just cut and paste whichever one, the millimeters in quotes or that, and put it into this settings one through here. And the other thing that I can do is we'll just save those ones there. So we can do that. And the other one through here is we got the text arrow. So if I put 0 in here and save that, next time I think we said that before. Now if I just do an NN and just a basic notes going through here, we just take one of those and bash it in there. That one comes in without the arrow on there. So we can actually come back in and we can say, well, no, I prefer having the arrow with an elbow. So I'll call that one segment is a one arrow or two segment arrow. So if I save that now, and if I come into here and go, we'll just go LP, which is the duck one. Now the duck one, I actually haven't got the note written out at the top. Inside here, if I type DIA, it doesn't seem to be doing it, but I noticed on my latest version, which I'm just working on at the moment, this will change it to a symbol straight away. And then I can come down and choose whatever supply type I want. So this is a return air. So return air. So this is trying to get a bit of an office standard through here. So everybody's using the same note. So therefore, all of the things are going to be reasonably consistent. And then we can say, yes, if there's some insulation, then I can actually just go enter for OK. Because it's two segment, I just come up and do that, and it'll drop that information through like that. So now you see I didn't actually put the size in, but if I just put DIA in there, we can do diameter, and we just go 500 duct, or no, it's foot, so 4 foot duct. 4 inches. No, that's a bit small. We're just at 300 duct. Sorry, trying to convert into imperial metric. So I can change my arrows very easy. All we do is we just preset that so they're automatically coming through all the time. And then sometimes you might want to do a note and you don't actually want any arrows on there. Well, you could actually, if you've got the note and it's got the arrow on there, you can just type A2 and it just takes that away. So if you suddenly wanted that as a 3 note that you've got in the corner of the documentation, it's quite easy to modify those things accordingly. We've got one of the things which I'm trying to do here is to it's an example that I'll do with the PP pipe. So we've got a pipe, and we're in an imperial at this point in time, so I'll actually just put 1/2 inch, and then we're just going to go sewer water, we're just going to go hot water return, and then we're just going to go enter. And so we'd point to a pipe, we come through, and we set it up. Now, normally what I'd end up doing was I go copy, and I come down and I paste it, then I go into here and I go supply. But if it's a reverse return system, then this might end up being 2 inches supply, and then because you've got a reverse return system, that it's one's big and one's small and done like that. So each time you've got to go in and do little bits of edit. Whereas the idea is with PP, you can actually just go P, you just grab the one that you want. I've just got that as hot water supply here at the moment, and go enter, and we just drag it along. And it's automatically putting them in each time, and we've got the descriptions like that. Now, here's the other thing through here. One of the things that I was quite concerned about was if we just go right click and go edit the settings, we can actually say, look, we want to add a couple of more keys in, or the Office standard is not to write it out in full because we don't have enough room on some of our things that we're doing, that we actually want to say this one is HWR. It's only on the specialist CWS is cold water supply or something like that, and it's only for the chilled water or the storm water or sewer pipe or something like that. Or we can actually have another one, refrigerant supply, and then that's going to be key number 8. So we're going to copy that key there and go V to key number 8. Now, this one here, I've got 7 keys, and it actually says this just does a little loop and it counts how many is here and takes that amount of information. This one here, I've added another one, but I haven't change the keys, so I've updated that, so we just drop that through there. Now if I type PP there again, when I come down and look, you'll see that the new one hasn't come through because it's only looping through the ones above. Now it seems to loop each time you start it off, something I've just got to fix through there. So on this one here, what did we say? We just said 1/2 inch. We just said that, and then I can actually go enter and just bash it through. So each note is specific for what you want to do. Now, let's just why did that chop off? Half. Now let's just go enter. Now that's done it. It's a bit confusing here. Don't know why that did that. Now you also see that I've got the units through there. So that's another thing that I was trying to work on through here, was put the units. So if I just change those to millimeters, now if I just go copy and paste that into that location there, save, and then we come into here, and then I go PP again, and I go 45 millimeters chilled water return. We'll see if it's going to behave itself this time. Enter, bang, 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 and there's the chilled water return. So I've got the millimeters or the inches through there. So I am sort of trying to make these so that they're generic, so that you can do notes that you do with an awful lot of repetition, but you can adapt them to what you actually need. Now, one of the issues with this is you've got to build up this GUI interface, so graphic user interface through here. So you have to build this up, and it's got to be pre-built the way that you actually want it to work. So to do that, it's got to be reasonably specific. So there are extra buttons that you can add, or things to actually hide information or add information or things like that. So for something where you've got something like pipes, another one would be, do you want a fall on it, and then do you want an insulation on it, and then what thickness of insulation on it, and maybe an insulation product. You may use 2 or 3. That's another pull down list that you can actually have. So you'd actually have the general notes that you're just doing where you're blasting along, but you have specific instances where you've got external or underground pipe that you've got to do other things through, that you can use the rest of the note through there to just build up. So you know that all you have to do is just type PP and it comes up, and you just go enter, and it's blasted the thing in there for you straight away. So it's tailoring to the needs of what your company might need, and it's also trying to get to a point where it speeds up a lot of this. Because if you think of typing this each time, or doing the copy, paste and edit, copy, paste, edit, and then checking, and then because you're doing a lot of copy, paste and the editing, I find I make the mistakes in the editing, and I find the fiddle factor in the editing takes a lot of time. Whereas if you've got the pre-built note, you're pulling down all of the things. All it's asking for is a diameter, and then you just choose your service, and then you can add those other items on. Then you can actually review the note as you're going on and start to build the next one. So I think there are instances, I think, for duct work and for pipe work, and maybe for some of the electrical fittings or something like that, it might be a handy thing to do. What I wanted to do was have enough versatility inside these ones that we're inside the inside here. We can choose what arrow type that you actually have a pre-preference for. You can actually choose what units that you're actually working in. You can also put an office standard as to what sort of descriptors that you actually want in. So this is just a work in progress at this point in time, but the idea is that it can actually improve tools. Now if you actually wanted one which is bespoke to your company, because you do something very specific, like you do complex signage or something like that, and just want some notes to actually jump in all the time, I'm able to build those up, but they would be sort of like bespoke bits of tailoring that I'd need to do. So I hope you found that useful. Thank you very much for watching.